Hi, Denny. How are you?
Susan.
Yep, it's me. Um, have you ever thought about the stuff that I text you?
But yeah, I have. I don't know really what the next best step would be, though. I'm happy to have a conversation with your ideas, but I did think about it.
Because I'm thinking of something more of a higher level, and I guess the probably sales volume will be at least 10, or is that too low?
No, well, I tell you what, maybe if you have a minute, we can get on the phone, or we'll just hang on afterwards this one and we'll share some ideas. You want to?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Why is this not going on? Well, okay, my TV will work or it won't. It'll probably come on here in a little bit. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mastery of Recon. Denny Grimes here. It's the end of February already. Oh my gosh, Thanksgiving's coming up next week. It's good to be back in my studio. So I have some interesting things to share with you today if you have a chance. I was playing around with Chat GPT, and I don't know how many of you guys have done that to, for example, what are the top objections according to AI? What's the top thing sellers are looking for or buyers are looking for in their agent? Pretty interesting stuff. So if you haven't done it, it'll help you develop a repertoire of conversations that you may not be used to and also come up with a value proposition. So it is Mastery today. Welcome, everybody. And what we want to do is work on high level conversations, drill down a little bit deeper, and not only make you better in conversations, but maybe give you something to think about. So I am all yours. Who would like to begin? What would you like to begin with?
Like it.
Anybody have this? Susan's generally the first one up. She was the first one on. Susan, you
So
have.
I went on a listing appointment yesterday. It's about 3.5 million to 4 million. And Lily, she lives next door to me. And she goes, well, have you sold this? Because I show her the comp in this particular neighborhood. And she asked me, well, have you sold in this one? I say, no. And then so I show her, no, well, have you sold this? Sold this one? I'm like, no. And then she kind of questioned me because her husband has passed. And she said her broker, I guess a financial broker told her, gave her a list of three top producing agents where I am, but she reached out to me for an interview. So, but my question is, how do you guys gauge someone that you're getting trying to get into the extremely luxury market? And when they ask you, have you sold in this particular property, but we're practically neighbors.
Okay. So this is a conversation. It could be anyone could come into this. You're not your experience. Somebody could be brand new, and or somebody could be attempting to break into a higher price range or a different geographic area. Would that be accurate?
Yes.
Well, why don't we role play that?
Okay.
You want me to be the agent,
Sure. Absolutely.
and you will be the customer. So are we face to face?
Yes. We're at the table.
Okay, and so just to be sure, how did I get the appointment?
I have sent out a couple of letters and she reached out to me and she sounded like she really needs to sell. She wants to sell.
Got it.
She has this big gigantic home. Her husband had just left her and she has no heirs. So she's
But I
moving
know
back to,
I got all that, but I want to know why you're there. And so evidently you did a mailing and she responded to it, right?
right.
All right. So then I'll start. Then I'll say, well, we've gone over the listing presentation. Are you ready to move forward with me, Susan?
No, because I have asked you a couple of times if you sold the two properties next door to ours. I'm still interviewing, three top agents that was given to me by the broker.
Okay. And so your financial advisor gave you a list of names to talk to, right?
Correct.
Have you met with any of them yet?
No, you're the first.
Okay. And based on what you've heard, do I seem like that type of agent you would want to work with?
Yes, I love your presentation. Is well put together. You actually gave me some stuff that you actually prepare yourself for any other a buyer may come in to inquire about the landslide.
Okay. Now let me ask you. We went over a thing. Would you want is selling your property important to you?
Yes, I'm planning to move to the Carolinas next year, and yeah,
Okay.
I want to move back to my family.
And then here's where I'm going, guys, is this. Hang on, let me let this person in. Here's where I'm going. Well, let me ask you, your financial advisor gave you a list of 3 names, correct?
Yes.
Have any of those people reached out to you?
No, I'm supposed to reach out to them.
Well, I'm kind of curious. Now, again, I'm sitting here because I proactively was looking for business because that's the type of agent I am. I am proactively looking for business. Now, my question is, do you want an agent that will be proactively trying to sell your house or just sitting back waiting for someone to call you or to call your agent?
That.
You see what's going on?
Yes. Yeah.
Anybody else have a light bulb go off?
I love that. But that just sound like you're so desperate that you're proactive. I mean, you're looking for business. Because like I'm at this kind of different kind of market. I'm not working with this is a kind of it is a luxury market.
All right. Well, is that helpful?
Yes. No, I like that. I like that. Now, how do you go back and re-engage her in this?
Well, you follow up. And you say, you follow up. See, those agents aren't even reaching out. You've got to be the agent that keeps knocking on the door. Isn't that what you want your agent to do to get your home sold? I mean, have you ever heard of someone that, they've got their, the status of being a top agent? I tell you what, if they're old enough, they'll remember the TV commercial. Hertz. You guys remember the TV slogan for Hertz? Or maybe it was Avis. Do you guys remember? You got to be older. We try harder because we're number 2. I think that was OJ, actually. I'm not sure. All right, I know. I'm going back to the 1970s, probably. All right. Anybody else have another problem to solve? Looks like I'm doing pretty good today. I'm 1 for 1. Jose, what do you got? Kate, what do you got? If your name is Sherry, you might have to change it.
I was calling expires today, and I feel that I don't push back enough without being intrusive. For example, the one I called today is like, calling about this expired. Are you still interested in selling? No, we're just going to hold on to it for a little bit.
Well, just role play with me. All right, let me hear your bull ride. Ring, hello.
Hi, is this Denny?
It is. Who's this?
This is Jose with Keller Williams. The purpose of my call is because I see your listing came off the market.
I
Are you
know.
still interested in selling your property?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're the 10th caller here. It's so far this morning. I can't even heat up my coffee. Yeah, we're gonna probably sell it. We're gonna wait. Probably now that we're this close to Christmas, we're probably gonna wait until after the holidays.
If somebody showed up with the money that you were asking for before yesterday, will you still take it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're asking me if the Bucks had a decent coach, we would probably be winning the Super Bowl. All right, so what do I do with that?
Or a decent quarterback?
Hey, now,
Yeah, and that's kind of where I left it. Once they said we're gonna just be on the bench for a little bit, but I have the sensation that I could have pushed
well,
more.
why are you stopping? All right, so I'd say, is that where you got stuck when they said we're gonna wait?
Yeah,
All right. Well, okay, so let me, all right, and you guys can, I don't know if Matt's on the call today. He's always got great lines on the phone. My best conversations are at the table because that's how I built my business, not the phone, but I can help you out. All right, so you're gonna wait till after the holidays. Well, do you have, all right, so try not to do yes or no. All right, so here's where I'm going. Well, let me ask you, do you happen to know when the very best time is to sell a home?
no, tell me.
Yeah, well, I might say before I let you go, I just want to make sure. Do you know when the best time is to sell a home? And no, tell me. It's during the holidays. Do you know why?
Serious buyers, serious sellers.
Okay, yes. So my question is, I'm going to go back and ask you again. I mean, you had your home on the market all the way up until yesterday, and you're taking it off when might be the very best time for you. Would it be worth rethinking that a moment? That's where I would go. I would plant a seed of doubt.
Yes.
And I would say, look, so let's have a quick conversation about that a little bit. So why would you want to wait until after the holidays? I would say, why would you want to wait? Why would you want to miss the best time of the year to sell?
So I have, when they say that I'm gonna wait until after the holidays, the first thing I do is, oh, what is the significance of the wait? And you wait for them to respond back?
All right, hang on. Well, it's all right. I'm gonna get at my tree and we're gonna have Christmas cookies and presents, and I don't want to be bothered.
So you want me to role play that with you?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what, Denny, let me tell you something. During the holiday, this is where I'm the busiest. You have serious buyers that are coming through rather than looky loose. The people who want to buy home is at this time, because at this time, when the house is all decorated, they're gonna see.
So I'm going to stop you. The difference between what you're doing and what I teach is, and it can be a parallel message, but you're telling me why. I mean, I think the communication goes up when you ask.
True.
All right. So take it now and ask, lead me through that without telling me.
Okay, so you're saying that it's the holiday you don't want to spend time. If I could get your property sold after if I could get your property sold during the holidays and minimize the impact of affecting your holiday, will that work? I don't know. I don't like that.
No, I would say, well, I go back and create some curiosity. Do you know when when the best time to keep a home on the market is? Make them think. No, when? Would you be surprised to learn it's during the holiday? Would you like to know why? Well, okay. Well, here's number one. Do you think there's other sellers out there like you, Susan, that, hey, you're this close to the holiday and you might as well just wait until after January? Do you think there's other people like that?
Absolutely.
So right now it's kind of like you're in a competition and half the people are sitting on the bench. So that's a good time. And here's the other reason, the bigger reason. If there are buyers looking right now between now and the end, the first of the year, do you think they're uber serious? You see how I'm asking you. I'm not
Yeah.
telling you. That's one thing I think you guys try to do that better. And maybe that's why I teach question-based listening, enhanced conversations. I just think you're going to get further if you ask them the question. Help them self-discover.
Yeah, I think I think that is it. You have to make them self-discover. You're not telling them. And I think the hardest part for me is trying to reposition how I ask the questions, knowing what I want, how I could lead them. But I think it takes time to think kind of like differently in asking that question, if you will.
Well, okay, so then and go Jose and then Susan, and we'll go on to something else. Here's one more thing. If it just expired, let's say in the last week, and you ask a good question, Jose, if you had had an acceptable offer yesterday, would you have taken it? All right, so what, and if they would have said yes, what does that imply? Well, that means, okay, they're still going to have to go through the process of a home inspection and all the things that could be disrupting the holiday, right? The only thing that they wouldn't have to put up with is, vacuuming the house and cleaning under the refrigerator every day in anticipation of a showing. So when you stop to think about it, what do you think is the number one reason then? They would say, I'm going to wait until after the holidays. They don't want to mess with keeping the house. You'd have to ask them, but I'm guessing, they want to decorate their tree. They don't have to worry about putting away the decorations every day while they're working on it. All those types of things. And they got, their house gets kind of quasi cluttered. So you'll have to ask them, what is the one thing, if you could still sell, and you said you wanted to get to Atlanta, you would know the motivation by now. What is the number one thing, if it accepted an offer yesterday, wouldn't it make sense you consider an offer maybe next week? If you had a magic wand, what would you like? And a lot of times, and this goes back to the COVID market, why don't all these people walking through my house? Okay. What if that wasn't the case? What if it was just a serious buyer walking through your house? Because sellers many times think that you're going to have all these people and all these open houses, which is something else, guys. When you do your listing presentation, don't talk about all the open houses you're going to do until you find out if they like open houses. Because particularly during the holidays, right? So does that help, Jose?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me put you back on the phone. Let's see how he does, guys. Let me let these guys in. All right, you're gonna call me again. Let's see how you do.
Hi, good morning. Is this Denny?
Who is this?
This is Jose with Keller Williams. I'll tell you what the purpose of my call is. I see that your property at 123 Main Street has expired yesterday. It was been taken off the market.
Now you were doing good until you stopped there.
Yes.
You can't stop. You got to ask a question. All right. Because try one more time. Go.
Is this Denny?
It is. Who's this?
This is Jose with Keller Williams. I'll tell you the purpose of my call. I see that your property at 123 Main Street is no longer available for sale. It's selling. Are you still interested in selling the property?
Yeah, I know that you guys, hey, look, I'm in sales myself. I don't want to be rude, but I had like a bazillion calls already, and we'll figure this out probably after the holidays.
Okay. If an offer showed up on your door today that you would have taken yesterday, will you still sell it?
Are you saying you have an offer for me?
I'm not just asking. If an offer showed up that you would have taken yesterday, will you still be interested in selling it?
Okay, I'll bite. Sure.
Okay. Would it be worth 15 minutes of your time to meet today in the afternoon to go over what we can do to get your property sold.
Now that sounds like everybody else.
How will you take it from there, Coach?
Well, so you want to wait till after, I'll just reverse. So you want to wait till after the first of the year? Is that what you said? You want to wait until after the holidays?
No, it was just, we're just gonna wait. It
Okay,
was
I got it.
holiday.
And let me ask you, do you know, wait until when?
Till the beginning of the year.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, do you happen to know when there's the highest concentration of qualified buyers in the market? Do you know when that is?
No, tell me.
It's during the holidays. So my question is, if you know that, and oh, by the way, do you think there's a lot of sellers think like you, they're going to wait until after the first of the year, put their home on the market? Now you have more competition. So would you want to have your home active when it basically is the best time for the seller and you have the most qualified buyers? If there was a way to make that happen and without any inconvenience for the holidays, would you consider it?
Right. To step out of role play a little bit, Coach. The part that I struggle with, like after you were saying it, is like, duh, we just went over this, right? It's hard to rewire my brain to tell them to ask questions to self-discover. My immediate response is, let me tell you why.
Yeah. That's because you've been doing it your whole life. So I want you to get a big fat rubber band, one that's very strong. And when you do it, snap yourself. Oh yeah, there you go. Nice, Kate. That's why the one thing I think agents miss. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. One thing I think agents miss the most is practice. Yes, absolutely. I have a wicked, sometimes when I hit my golf, my drive off the tee, it's so that I can snap hook it. Gosh darn it, hate that.
Can I give Jose a pointer? I mean, Jose, do you mind if I give you some pointers here?
Absolutely, that's what I'm
When
here.
you do a lot of expire calls, I pretty much my business really, it's all expires. And the first thing, so just to cut to the chase, right? The numbers that you're gonna call, you assume that they are who they are, that you're calling them. Because if it's the wrong person, they're just gonna hang up on you. So don't say, hey, is this Denny? You're just wasting, they're just gonna click. So you just to avoid that, just say, hi, I'm calling about, XYZ. When are you gonna put the house back on the market? That's it. And don't ask you, I don't use the word why, because you put them in a defensive mode. Why are you selling? Why? It's almost like, why don't you clean up your room? Why are you not, doing the dishes, right? You put them in a very, very defensive mode. So I use the word when or how come is softer.
Yeah, we teach in bold the why question you have to earn yourself. And that's a really good point. The other thing I just made me think of too, you guys, if you're calling and knowing the seller's name, that means, and it might be if you're using like a land voice or some sort of a lead source, it might be there. However, if it's not there, I mean, what I'm suggesting, don't do a ton of research. Like you spend 15 minutes researching the seller, the property, and how long it's been on the market, looking at the virtual tour before you make the call, because you'll be there for 4 days to make 10 calls. So good. That's a good point, actually, Susan. And I know you have a pretty good direct bull ride when you get on the phone. So good input. So I have some new faces on the call. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Feel free. This is kind of like, hey, look, the water's fine. Come on in. Who would like to do something? Melissa just graduated from Bold. She's a young agent in New Jersey, and she is working on her presentation. We got to role play several times. You can step up to be an agent or a buyer or seller. Who would like to do a conversation now? And let's practice. That's what we should be doing, is practicing. Is anybody out there?
Here, I'll play.
Who's flat? Who's that?
This is Matt Cannon, El Paso.
Oh, Matt, I see you down at the bottom, Art. So you're an agent. What do you want to work on?
Doesn't matter, whatever. Spin the wheel.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to give you one from Chat GDP. GPT. Oh, 1 second. So I will be the, you want a buyer seller?
Doesn't matter.
Boy, I tell you what, she is. There it is. There we go. All right, we did this one today on Recon. We're at the table. You've given me a list of presentation. What if I sell my house and I can't find a new one to buy?
Okay. Okay, so Denny, well, do me a favor, Denny. Give me that again. So Denny, you ready to get going?
Well, kind of, sort of, but maybe not. What if we put it on the market and it sells and I can't find a house to buy?
Okay. So you're slightly concerned that we put it on the market and it sells, and then you won't be able to find one to buy.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Let me ask you something, Denny. Other than being a little concerned about that, is there any other reason that wouldn't be ready to put me to work for you today?
Now, for the newer people on the call, I've got the model behind me. So you can, if you can see behind me, maybe pin me so you can read the TV. What Matt's doing is following the objection handling model. And he did a nice job of that. He acknowledged it. And now he's isolating. The isolation is other than that. And so I'm going to go back into role play. Yeah, that's kind of that's the big deal. I mean, you seem pretty cool. You know, I interviewed you and this other chick, Susan from California, and we like you. So, yeah. So I think that is the main thing.
Okay, perfect, Denny. Listen, yeah, I like you too. I think we're a good fit for each other. I agree with you. You know what? Now that we agreed to work together, let me do this. Let me come around to your side of the table, so to speak, and let's talk about your concern. Tell me a little bit more about your concern about, not being able to find the right home to buy.
Well, you sell the house, and there's not another house out there for me to buy. I don't know how. Want me to talk slower? I don't know how else to say it.
No, I get it. I totally appreciate it. So you're thinking. So let me ask you this, Denny. When you've been kind of poking around on the internet, I'm sure you have, and as you've been looking at some of these
One thing,
homes,
guys. One thing. Notice how quickly Matt's talking. Is he matching me? He seems like he's talking faster than me. You got that, Matt?
Yes, got it.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, so Denny, as you've been, looking around on the internet,
That's there you go.
let me ask you, have you seen anything that kind of fits your, price range, location, things like that?
Yeah, now he's slowing down. Now it's bugging me. All right. I just wanted to point that out, you guys, at Mirror Matching. So we're having a little fun. Well, yeah, I see stuff pop up all the time, but I can't buy it. Now, you didn't ask me this, but you would probably know. I can't buy it because my house is not sold. And then I see that I go there the next day and it's pending. So I'm worried that, there won't be a house for me when my house sells.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. Denny, a lot of people kind of, have that concern. And here's what most people have found is that, when you have the ability to, purchase something. Now, unless you're looking for this, purple unicorn, type of home, and maybe it only comes around once in a blue moon, right? If what we've been seeing online is coming up over and over again, what I think you'll find happen is once we sell your home and we get good money for it, what you really just need to have is a good transition strategy. Does that make sense, Denny? And what I mean by transition strategy is when your home sells, what's it gonna look like for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 6 months until we get you into that, next home.
Where am I going to live in the meantime?
Exactly. What is that transition strategy going to look like, Denny? Have you thought about that yet?
That's why I'm bringing this up. I'm afraid you're going to sell it. I'll have nowhere to go.
We're definitely going to sell it, Denny. We're definitely going to sell
Now
it.
you're scaring me. You're dealing with the wrong end of the pooch here.
Listen,
I'm
Denny,
worried about where I'm going. Solve the problem.
well, let's talk through it, Denny. Where would you go? What would that look like as your home sells and we're getting you into the next one? Do you have a temporary place to stay, or have you thought through what a temporary place will look like?
Rentals here. I mean, I'm not getting my family. I've got 2 dogs, a cat, and an alpaca farm. I can't get those into a rental. You know, I mean, I got to find I mean, you understand the issue is, I mean, I know you want to go lickety split, put a sign in the yard and sell this puppy, but I then have to worry about what if there's no home out there. Now I'm going to stop, but we've been going around this circle now for about 4 minutes. You've not dealt with the issue yet.
Well, this is what the discussion I normally have with people looks like.
Okay.
Right. As I want to talk them through what this transition strategy is, is going to look like. And if they don't have a place to go, then we need to talk about, some type of a, temporary leaseback scenario or some type of thing. But this is important. This is an important part of the process. What's it going to look like when the home sells before the next one, comes up? And if they don't have a good plan or a good option, yeah, we can talk about, this is what it may look like to do. Someone purchase the home, and then we could structure it in a way that they won't move into a certain amount of time.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. Then walk me through that.
Okay. Yeah, Denny. So look, if you don't have a place to go, and it's happened before, I've had quite a few clients do the same scenario. What we could do is we can get your home on the market. And of course, again, Denny, I'm here to help you do whatever it is you're looking to do. I'm not trying to, kick you out of your home next week. Okay. We're in this together. We're going to stay with you. But what could look like is we put it on the market and we let everybody know as we're coming in to purchase this home. Hey, look, the seller is ready to close on this home, and yet we do need some time, to move into the next one. Okay. Are you with me so far, Denny? Does that make sense?
I'm with you.
Okay. And that's what it could look like is we start getting offers on the home. We accept that offer that we really like, and we have the discussion with these new buyers and the agent that says, hey, look, we need X amount of days after close to go ahead and get you moved into the next home. And what would happen in the meantime is when we go into contract, we're already going to be out there starting to zero in on those good properties. And now, the minute we go into contract, we can go ahead and pull the trigger, and get you onto one of those homes that you really like.
Good. I like it. That is what I have a similar conversation. I call him the golden seller. And I have a little different conversation, but it's that same idea, which I think is a perfect scenario that you find. We'll just find a buyer but I walk them through and how much time they might need, how often they see the houses, blah, blah, blah. But that Matt hit the nail on the head. Yeah, Matt, you hit the nail on the head that I have, you see, he initially started talking about, well, hey, well, I thought he was going down the road that he wanted me to hop out of an airplane without a parachute. I said, don't worry, we'll find one on the way down. Won't work. But the solid plan is, go ahead. Okay. So number one, you know where you're going. Yes. Then, you can't buy a home until you sell your home. And so what if we found a buyer that would let you stay in your home long enough to, after closing, when you have the money to buy a home? So I'll give you a knucklebump, Matt. That's a good strategy. I like it. Who's
Thanks,
next?
What, Denny, I will say this, Denny. I don't love that strategy, to tell you the truth. I mean, but sometimes that's the only strategy there is, right? And if you had been resistant, then you would have gone down the path of saying, hey, look, here's the deal, Denny. What's got you thinking about moving in the first place, right? What would happen if you don't sell your home and you're going to stay in your home another 6 months, a year, 2 years? So you would have to start talking about the pain point of staying in the home.
Yeah, but all right. So now that you've ripped that Band-Aid off.
Never mind. Who's next?
Well, I don't think there is a better strategy. I think it's an excellent strategy. There isn't another one. I have found that most buyers will, I understand it might be a pain point, but don't want to jump out of an airplane without a parachute. They, they don't want temporary accommodation. That's always, I've never found somebody who wants a bridge loan.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you have that arrow in your quiver, and that is a good arrow to use. So I'll still give you the knuckle bump. So let's go. Come on, man, we're on a roll.
I actually like Matt's conversation, but I think ultimately, if you really set the expectation up front and discuss that, what are the possibility and options, because people like options rather than putting them, cornering them. If you give them options and set the expectation up front, you'll probably have an easier transition.
So how would that be? How would that work? I mean, he didn't know that was going to be an issue until I raised the objection. So would you bring that up front?
So before I go on a listing appointment, let's say I'm at the table now, and then I ask you, where do you plan on going? Well, you have to sell my home in order to buy. So great. So I would, now once when that happens, it would trigger, after we have other conversation, it would trigger for me, okay, so I just want to set the expectation. These are the possibility that, okay, you could find a house and you could close simultaneously. The second option is get a rent back. And explain that if someone's going to give you the price that you want and give you the terms that you want, there may be some, you have to give and take. So you cannot have a cake and eat it too. So setting the expectation in that, and then so that will ease the conversation. And when you actually get there, then when you actually get to that, point, and the seller is saying, look, I'm not ready to sell my house now because I'm in a rush to pick a house. And they go, do you remember when we had this conversation when we first met, or however it was? Then just bring them back.
Yeah, but I don't think, I think I understand, and you're right. I like the option thing, but there are sellers out there that aren't going to move forward because they're not going to sell without a plan. So, but
that is the plan. You're setting the expectation.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And then like Matt said, to the point, what happened if you don't, if it doesn't happen? What's the plan B?
So here's the next objection. I'm waiting. I'm a buyer. I'm waiting for home prices to drop. Who wants it? I don't see. Some of you guys have to change your name. It's quiet in here. Let's see. Who's Melissa? Are you ready? She's muted. Are you ready?
Yeah. What is the thing?
So this is our first opportunity to be in the mastery call. Thanks for being here. We just graduated her yesterday, the day before. So we're at the table. And I say, well, I want to buy, but I think it's better. I'm going to wait for prices to drop. How would you handle that?
Okay, I could appreciate that. Well, do you have to, I guess the first question, do I know that you have to sell? Do you have to sell in order to purchase?
No, I'm actually renting.
You're renting. Okay. So other than prices, is there any reason for you not to buy?
I know. I just, prices are seemingly getting softer here where I am in, Florida. I'm just going to wait for them to drop a little bit more.
Can I ask you a question? Do you watch the stock market?
No, I mean, not a lot. No, I don't really follow it.
Any like individual stock or anything like that?
No, I mean,
No?
it's on the news, but I don't pay much attention to it.
Okay. Well, when do you know the housing market, when the prices will be at the bottom?
Okay. So a couple of different points. It's interesting. Sometimes we ask a question and got to be prepared for the answer that you don't want. There's a high probability that you'd ask that question. Yes, I understand the stock market. So I gave her the answer she wasn't expecting. So, all right, well, good time, good way you pivoted. one more little coaching tip here. My objection was I want the prices to drop. I didn't say bottom.
Oh, okay.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Okay. You gotta give her props. She's doing good. All right, keep going. So yeah, I think prices will drop. So I'm waiting. I don't know when they'll bottom, but if they go down a little bit, that I think actually they're going down now. I mean, I check it all the time, and every month I notice a difference. So if I wait a couple more months, I'll save some shekels.
What, I guess, what level are you waiting for it to drop to?
Great question. Well, I don't know. I just figured if I could wait, I mean, what is the date today? If you're going to buy a big screen TV, would you wait till Black Friday?
Today's this week out from Black Friday, probably
Yeah,
not.
so you'd wait, right?
It depends on the price of the TV. If it looks like a good price, then I'd buy it.
So I've set up a scenario. Now, what you want to do is
Okay.
help me see the other side of the coin.
Okay.
What's the challenge in waiting?
I feel like waiting forever.
All right. So who wants to help her out? You're doing good. You're on models. You're doing good. We're going to help you out and round this out. I brought up Black Friday.
Can
That
I
could
have
be-
a thing for Black Friday.
Yeah. All right. What is it?
Can we role play it? See,
Yeah, sure.
you know, it's funny, Denny, that you bring up Black Friday. When is the last time that you went shopping on Black Friday?
I know where she's going.
Mm.
Well, I have actually avoided because it's a madhouse.
Right? I will not go shopping on Black Friday anymore. I'm scared I'm gonna lose a finger. Because everyone in the market for a big screen TV is showing up at Walmart at the crack of dawn to buy a big screen TV. What do you think Black Friday in the housing market might look like?
See where she's taking me? And again, that's our next little graph here. She's taking me to pain. We haven't talked about motivation yet, but that's when y'all listen. Sometimes they may bring up something. It's perfect when they bring up something as a metaphor or whatever, and you can then turn it around. Now, you're doing great. Ask the question. You can pin me to the mat with one question. What is it?
Are you willing to pay more than a home is worth to beat out the other buyers when the market looks like Black Friday?
Okay. All right, that is a parallel to the question and almost probably its cousin. Maybe the question is, why is everybody shopping at Black Friday, Kate?
Because the prices are lower.
Well, there's a limited amount, but there's more buyers. How would you like to be able to get a good buy on how would you like to be able to save money without the competition? In other words, how would you like your cake and eat it too? How would you like to get the Black Friday price without the hassle?
I think that would be perfect.
So I don't know if I'm painting a picture setting an expectation that I cannot deliver on. What would be another? I see Don's on. What would be another avenue of paying you guys for someone wanting to wait for prices to fall?
How do you know when it's going to happen?
Okay, or what if they don't?
What if they, let me ask you this, have you ever considered, what if they don't fall? What if they actually were to go up?
Okay. Good. Now I gave you a clue up front. I said I'm a renter. How would you use that? What's a good question to ask me? And the road to take me down. I'm a renter wanting to buy.
When is your lease up?
We're kind of month to month. That's an okay question. There's a better one.
How
If
would
you
you
want to
feel
use
if
pain, there's a
that,
better one.
how would you feel if that rent you were paying every month was building your equity or your net worth? instead of someone else's?
Okay, again, another avenue to explore to express pain.
Hey,
One
Danny,
of the
so-
questions I like is, watch this. So Matt, role play with me. How long have you been renting, Matt?
So it's been about probably like 3 years, almost 3 years now.
All right. So what I would always look for a way to maybe demonstrate where they made a mistake in the past because the timing wasn't right. So let me ask you then, you've been renting 3 years. When did you have the first inclination to own?
Probably the last couple of years.
And why didn't you act?
I don't know. I don't know. Life gets in the way, I guess. I know I probably should have already bought something by now.
Boom, 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 boom. If you take them back into, like, I rented for 3 years. Why didn't you rent? Why didn't you buy before life got in the way? I guess I should have. Now they've just walked into the fact that their timing, they made a mistake on timing. So are you saying that if you could go back, you would do it again, you would do it differently?
Yeah, I would probably.
And if you want to put salt in the wound, oh, by the way, 3 years ago, what were the interest rates?
I mean, I don't know. Everybody says they were low, you know?
Yeah,
super
they were
low.
3%. Now they're 6%. Let me ask you, was waiting a good idea?
Probably not.
All right,
Probably not.
who's got the cherry on top? It's there, just ready for the cherry. The whipped cream's already there. What's the cherry? All right, I gotta put the cherry on for you. Come on. Well,
Danny, I was gonna say, you're renting month to month. What are you gonna do if the landlord raises that money? Are you gonna stay in the higher rental, or what are you gonna do? Go rent again at a higher price?
but you miss. I played that whole game of chess to get to the checkmate, and the checkmate question was, well, you see, what I'm having a conversation because you just said you wish you had acted differently then. I'm trying to keep you from making the same mistake again.
What would happen if 3 years from now you look back and you had the same thing happen?
Yes.
So-
So if you can take them to a past point and bring it that they admit to, here's another one. I mean, I can play all 3 years. When do you really think about buying? Ask them that, because it wasn't like yesterday they thought, oh, I think I'm going to buy now. They'll say, well, I'll tell you what, and this I'm talking about our market. Well, let me tell you something, Matt. Do you realize, congratulations, waiting has paid off. Why? Because in our market, prices are down about 15%. So let me ask you, I guess you're watching prices fall. You've already saved 15% by waiting. My question is, do you want to act one day too soon or wait one day too long before prices head back up?
I mean, are the prices going to go back up? Is that what they're thinking?
I don't know, but I mean, if you saw a blazer that made you look awesome, and and all the chicks digged you, and you got a 15% on sale, would you buy it? See, I'm having a little fun now, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You talk about mastery. This is a mastery tool to take them back and then walk them forward. Because I promise you, there's a mistake somewhere along the way. They made a miscalculation in timing. And if it doesn't work, there's no harm, no foul. You just don't push that button.
So I actually had a situation where someone asked me that you're gonna wait for the prices to come down. When I'm meeting with them, what I did was I came from my analytical side. I did a bar graph, like a time and then pricing. So I put down 2008, 2000, and then just have the timeline, but you want to point out 2008 and before 2008, how home prices went up, and in 2008 it drops, and then over the course of time it goes back up. And say, do you remember 2008? Well, all the homes were underwater or whatever it is, all the home prices went down, but that was unprecedented. So now if you look back at this timeline and you draw the line, and between it is wiggly, it goes up and down, but it's not gonna be a big dip. So that having said that, it doesn't mean that all the home prices will go down. There may be a little bit correction, but over the course of time, you're gonna see a 10-25% increase. So whether or not all the home prices has always increased.
Are you saying over time you got a 10 to 25% increase?
Something like that.
Are you not promising that in the future?
I'm not promising anything, but I'm just showing them the trend. The trend from everyone knows 2008, but you could show before that, and then you do a bar graph, and then within this bar graph, you do this like wiggly line up and down, but it's not going to have a massive drop. When people are looking at that massive drop, they're looking at 2008 prices, or they're looking at, before pandemic prices. Even the pandemic, people are paying well, at least in my market, $150,000 above the list price.
Yeah, well, again, you're in California. Are you still seeing your prices going up, or is it leveled off?
Oh, it's still going up.
Well, you can use that. You won't get this objection in California because you have prices going up and you have urgency on your side. Anybody in a market where you're seeing prices soften. So when prices start to soften, I mean, buyers go in when greed's in the market. I want to get, it's called the herd mentality. I heard it was good, so I hopped in. And so when the market's going up, people will act irrationally. They got to get what they can. When the market's going down, they sit on their hands because it's Groundhog Day in reverse. Every day they wake up, their homes are worth less. So now it's kind of like those days you were, Don, you remember when you used to be jump rope and you got to get your timing just right before you go in and start jumping. They're waiting. So sometimes you have to you got to really blow them off the fence with a little bit of dynamite. But you're in a great market still, Susan, and that grafting the ideas and showing them the trend of the market is awesome. We have time for one more. We have time for one more. What are we going to do? Come on, somebody stump me. Somebody give me something hard.
Okay. Someone called me. I went on the listing appointment also. She want to hire me. This is a trust. The parents put the trust into a bank. The trustees are the bank and the beneficiary are the children because there was some fighting among real estate between the children. So the parents have the bank, is a trustee. And the agent that's doing the house right now has had the house for the last 5 months and couldn't sell it. The property is about $3 million. And she asked me, and she wrote an email to the trustee and asked to list with me. The trustees say no to list with me. They have certain brokers that they want to work with. How do you handle that?
Well, okay. Well, what's the first thing that comes to your mind if they've got a list of approved brokers they want to work with? What's the first thing that's going through your mind?
Challenge.
What?
That's me. I would challenge the trustee.
First thing going through my mind, and I don't know that it's true, and I don't know if it's even ethical or legal, that they may have a financial arrangement, referral fee type situation with these brokers, much like a relocation company, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why they want to control it. And here's the ones we use. And so I don't know if that's the case. However, if you ever tried having a seller who's being relocated and they want to pick you, Susan, but the relocation company says they got to use Jose. You can't fight City Hall there. Now, I don't know in this particular case, but that's what comes up through my mind. Number two is, does she as a trustee, if that's the right word for her?
No, she's the beneficiary. Trustee is the bank.
Okay, the beneficiary. Who's holding the trump card?
The trustee.
Yeah. Well, then I guess then the last thing I would say is there, you've got your approved brokers. If she wants to use me, is there any way that I can become an approved broker in this transaction?
I could do that. I could do that.
It might
'Cause I
cost
just-
you, it might cost you some, might cost you some money, like 25%, or relocation companies are 40%.
I don't care. It's $3 million.
I get it.
No, so I called my trust probate attorney, and he said that we could challenge and do a petition for it, but then it's going to be money out of her pocket to do that, and it's almost like there's no battle, because a trust is a trust, and they're vetted and they're national trustee. So I kind of like, I could ask, I like that question. You say, hey, how can I be on that approved list?
Or at least for that one transaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Susan,
Denny.
do you have my number?
I will. I actually have 11 o'clock right after this. I'll call you afterwards.
Yeah, sure. Anything else before we go? Come on, give me a tough one. Somebody.
I have a
Kate.
weird one.
I do weird.
So it is a FSBO that I called. I'm in North Carolina. They were previously listed with an agent for 45 days before they canceled the listing because they didn't get along, but they don't want to talk bad about anyone, which cool, that's cool. But this FSBO is owned by an agent licensed in Tennessee, so she's pretty sure she can do FSBO on her own, even though she's not local.
Okay. Got it. I'll role play it with you. Let's see where it goes. All right, you're the owner and you're the agent, right?
I'm the owner.
Is the owner the agent?
Yeah, the owner is an agent in another state.
Yeah, all right. So I mean, hey, I'm calling, hey, Kate, this is Denny. I work over here in North Carolina. I don't know what town you're in. You got this home here. I understand you're trying to sell, and you're an agent in Tennessee, correct?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Well, I got a couple questions for you. Number one is, are you offering a compensation to to my broker if I were to bring you an offer?
Absolutely.
And what is that? Well, okay, so what's your code, bro?
About 2.5 bananas.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I got it. All right, 2.5. Now, who is in the house? Is it being rented?
Nope, it's vacant.
Okay, so I see it's been on the market 45 days. Would you like some local help getting it sold?
I mean, I tried that route and we just didn't really like that agent.
I got it. Well, hey, look, are you a full-time agent, by the way?
I am.
Good. Well, agent to agent, then you understand that, sellers, people pick the wrong agents all the time, and you probably just got the wrong agent. And I'm not the wrong agent, I'm the right agent. So let me ask you, I mean, you're not here. I don't know how you're handling showings. It might be somebody that's watching the home for you, but however, did you know, and this is what I would say, but she does not know this. 18 homes have sold similar to yours or let's say 12 homes have sold similar to yours in the 45 days you've had yours on the market. And I'm just, I just see your home sitting there, and it's got to be costing you money, or it's, no one's taking care of it like they should. Would you be interested in a conversation how we could work together and get it sold?
I like that.
Right?
Yeah,
And-
numbers with another agent would probably go pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, you treat her like a professional and say, look, well, I tell you what you could do is say, well, probably what I would do, and you could do this. I mean, you could start, hey, for example, let me be your boots on the ground here. What type of referral fee would you like? We'll work it together. How would you like? What kind of referral fee can I pay you? And I'll take care of all the work for you. Fair? Let her pick it out. And you know what? If she said 50-50, I'd probably do it. Any other
Okay.
comments on that, guys? There you go. So quiet.
Thank you.
Well, hey, it's Friday. I'm home. I got Thanksgiving weekend week coming up this next week, so I have some time off. I don't have to travel. Hey, anybody learn something today? Share an aha with me. What did you do today
Yes.
that you learned?
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery, what?
Asking questions so they could self-discover.
Yeah, but we do that every week. What else? What did you hear that you can go and use from today's call?
Big rubber band teaching method.
Yeah. You need a big one.
Black Friday.
Black Friday, yeah. I think the thing we talked about today would be a really good tool is always remember if someone is waiting, take them backwards to a point. How long have they been waiting? How long have you been thinking about it? They might uncover a mistake. And once they've uncovered and admit to a mistake, well, you don't want to make that a mistake again, do you? I mean, how many people you know have been married 4 times, right? All right, I didn't say that. That won't be on the recording. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Love you, mean it, knuckle butt. Be careful. And Melissa,
Thank
I'm so proud of
you.
you.
Happy
Way to go.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye.